Hi everybody. I really was intent today on bringing you a video of my son was visiting, and it's so rare that I get to see him, and I so wanted to share him with you that I told him I just wanted to ask him a few questions for you so you could kind of get a feel of who he is and what he's about, and get to know a little bit more about me. Unfortunately, he didn't get out here until quite late in the day, and we were having dinner at first in a very dark restaurant, and then we went to Starbucks and we were having coffee, tea, and I really wanted to get it done, so I got it done there. Unfortunately, the light was horrific, and he was trying not to talk too loud. I guess he didn't want to disturb anybody else. Not that there were many people in there at that point, but I'm going to attach the video of it. I have to apologize to you because the quality of it is horrific, the lighting is horrific, and the sound is not good. So if we decide after you get a chance to see it that it's worthwhile, I'll leave it up. Otherwise, I'll take it down. But I just didn't want to miss this possibility because it's a rare occurrence for me. And I was just too excited to make him a part of your lives as well. So here we go. Well, hello everybody. I'm not sure at all that you can hear me. I know you can't see me terribly well, but I really wanted to do a quick video now that I have a chance to have my son here, which is a very, very rare thing for me. And I'm excited to have him here. So David, say hi.
Hi. I'm actually not her son. I was just sitting here minding my own business in Starbucks, and this random lady walked up to me and started videotaping. But I'll play the part.
I decided that I wanted to just ask David a couple of questions that I thought you might find interesting to kind of get a little bit of a better picture about me as a total person and us as a family. David, I think the first thing that I'd like to ask you is how you felt about having me as a mother, and if you ever thought about having anybody else, and if so, who or what kind of person would that have been?
This is going to be a painfully boring answer, and probably one that sounds too pre-canned, but no, I had a really good, normal, I mean, you weren't normal, but that's another story. I had a really good, normal childhood, and I was happy, and you were great, and you were a working mom who somehow still managed to make really gross things like stuffed cabbage and whatever. So no, I don't have a good answer as to who. Actually, that's not true. Samantha from Bewitched, I always thought would be a cool mom to have, but other than that, I was really happy.
I'm happy to know that.
Yes. By the way, you realize that if you are going to try to get sponsorship from like Dunkin' Donuts or something, you're going to have a hard time. So.
That's really funny, son of a gun. Yeah, I guess I better cover up my drink.
All right.
Okay. What would you say would be some of the most memorable things about your childhood? What are the things that, when you think about it, that sort of come up first for you?
I remember little things that don't mean anything to anybody. I remember the sound of the first footprints in snowfall outside the building. I remember running through the basement in our apartment. I remember the fact that when I grew up in the 70s, everything had weird colors, like washing machines and telephones and things had these weird olive green and puke yellow colors that didn't exist anywhere else in nature, and everything was made by Maytag, but I remember normal stuff. I don't really know now I feel like kids are missing all the texture, but I had it all. I remember all of it, and and there were, and every year you could count on certain things, like, you know, like watching Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and and if you got something as a kid, it became like your toy forever, and family was important, and it was a thing, and when they came and when we did stuff and when there were holidays, it was all really great. And so I don't know, maybe my memory is failing, or maybe I'm naive, but growing up was just sort of great, and yeah.
What was the favorite gift you ever got as a kid?
Three things. It was a. I probably said that too fast. They probably think that you asked me that question in advance. But no, I actually have three things. One is there was this movie projector you got me that was I don't know. It was like a movie projector, and it was it had these little tape things. I think it was like a Walt Disney movie projector or something. Another thing was this Batmobile that was like this big, and it smelled new all the time. It had new car smell. It was the only toy car that came with a new car smell, but it was like shiny and perfect, and it felt just right.
It was very dark,
and it was very dark, and it had this really cool thing that the actual Batmobile had in some episodes, where when you push the front, it had like a plastic blade that came out, so you could like cut your way through things. And then my favorite ever thing was called the Vertibird, and you can still look this up online. It was this little remote-controlled helicopter that had these two little remote controls, and the helicopter, it had a wire, and it went to the middle, and the helicopter would fly around from that base, and you could stop and pick things up with a little hook. And actually, now Zach, my son, has that in his closet. Doesn't use it anymore, but he has it because it was one of my favorite toys. It was called the Vertibird. You can look it up.
I don't remember that. Who gave it to you?
I don't know, but everything came from family holidays and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was a holiday gift from someone.
What do you remember most about your life with Grandma when you were growing up?
This is a really long video. Is anybody still watching? Can I say anything I want?
You can say anything you want.
Grandma, always. Grandma, no shortcuts. Do the math in your head because it's better than any calculator. Read the paper. Read the actual whole story in a paper. Know things just to know it. It was always about learning and education and knowing things, and that and family. And it was just always family, cooking for family, having family over, having people around, being close, and doing things for family, and so that I remember, and always being there. She was just always there.
That's true.
Always there. I don't, the only life I know that she had was the life that was the one that was made up by being there for everybody else. That was her life.
That's absolutely true. Who was your favorite family member?
That was definitely one of the dogs. I'm not sure. Favorite family member. I think. I guess, really honestly, it was probably Uncle Steve, because there was always a mystique about him. That he left and went far away, and he did cool things, and he was working underground, and and as a physicist, not like a porn star or something. And so, he was always intriguing. But I think, really, it probably was Grandma.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate. We had lots of weird relatives, but none that I didn't like. So I could talk about every single one of them. And I thought it was cool to grow up and know all these people, especially because I've done such a lousy job of keeping in touch. At least I knew who they were, you know. And so
This is true, but it's harder to keep in touch with some of them because they're gone. So it's more of a long distance call these days.
You mean out of town or dead?
Dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is what it is. I have to tell you, for me, David lives a great distance away, and I don't get to see him terribly often, and I miss him terribly. And I know that I'm doing this in the most god-awful light, and you can't really see us terribly well. And I hope that it's something that is enjoyable. I do have another question for you, though, David. For all of my viewers and my subscribers, what would you say is the one...
Are you both still awake?
He's just so bad. What is the one thing or the two things that you think that they should know about me that they might not know and be good?
I don't know what they know so far, so I'll just say this, that no matter how much you ever have done in your life, or no matter how much you ever will do in your life, there was probably a whole bunch more really good stuff that you never got to do, that you wanted to do or could do. It was unfortunate that you didn't win the lottery at some point in your life, because you probably would have done some cool things, written some cool things, created some cool things. But who knows? Maybe now is your claim to fame. Maybe now is when you're going to be the rock star. Older, cracked sort of rock, but but
I'd still have to win the lottery first, though.
You might. I don't know. Unless some of you people tell someone else, I don't know. And if you're watching this, you probably don't have any friends, but if you did, you should tell them to watch this.
Oh, son of a gun. Is there anything else that you want to say to my friends out there?
Well, I guess two things. Number one, from a practical standpoint, it's like that old Prel commercial, which I'm guessing you people probably remember.
We were talking about Prel recently.
Tell two friends and tell two friends. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that I actually think it's really cool. Somebody asked me, 2 days ago I was at a meeting and somebody was talking to me about television and asking me about a question about television. And I asked them to define television. What is that anymore? Where's the line? Is this television right here? I don't know. We used to sit around and watch a piece of glass inside of a piece of wood in the living room, and now you're sort of watching this wherever. So I would say that one of the coolest things in the world right now is the fact that this exists, and the fact that we're doing this, and the fact that we're sitting here in Starbucks at whatever hour of the evening, and there's a chance that someone might be watching and enjoy this and want to interact with it. And so what I want you to know is that you should keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure it will lead to something.
You're not sure what.
Right, exactly. But so anyway, just cheers.
Oh God, there was one final question, and my final question for you, David, is at one point you were all about making movies and about show business. Do you miss any aspect of that? And if life were perfect, would that have gone somewhere for you? I know you're happy in your life now, exactly as it is.
I loved telling stories. I loved the whole idea behind telling stories. I liked writing. I liked directing. I enjoyed doing that. If there was one person who saw it and they were moved, some people were moved to leave their seat in the theater, but if I moved anybody, and that was kind of cool, and if I was sitting around looking for some sort of hobby, might I write or direct or something, or put together a little film? Yeah, maybe I might do that, but I don't miss it. It's some nice nostalgia, and I look back on it very fondly, and I had a great time doing it, and I'm glad that I did it. But I don't think about it on a daily basis. I love what I do, and I'm very happy. I have more of a boring life that I'm really excited about these days.
I think that's really true, and I think it's a wonderful, boring life. So, again, I don't know if you're going to hear any of this with the background sounds. I don't know if you're going to see much of it. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a better light just for the final.
I don't know. Is that the light you were looking at? It looks like someone's coming from above to get you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do. I'm so sorry because we're doing this late at night, and unfortunately we just don't have a lot of time because David's going back home, which is across the country, tomorrow. And I really wanted you to see this because I wanted him to be part of my world here with all of you, and I wanted you to get a little bit of an experience of him. So I thank you very much for watching, and David, I thank you very much for doing this.
Absolutely. I'm really just here for the snacks, but yeah, it's all good. This was nice. This was different. And who knows, maybe this is my 5 minutes. Maybe this is my claim to fame. Right here, right now, this one video. So, good night.
Take care. I love you all, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye. So once again, I loved doing that with David. That sort of impromptu little video, just so that you could get to know both of us a little bit better. I wish it had been under better circumstances in terms of lighting and ability to hear us. I hope that you were able to hear some of it. I think your sound would have to be cranked up all the way to be able to hear it under the circumstances. And again, my apologies for that, but I do hope it was worthwhile on some level. I know for me, it's a memory I will cherish along with all the others that I have tucked away. And I'll try to get some more time with him at some point in the future when we can do something else. So take care.